The clamor for democracy is evident in the growth and development of democratic nations, giving the people the opportunity to choose their leaders through elections. Nigeria, like other countries in the world, accepts democracy as the best form of government, with stakeholders such as the Inter-Party Advisory Council contributing to its sustainability. Various institutions continue to promote democratic ideals that will strengthen the process and ensure the principles of fair play among all actors. The nation's judiciary is one of such pillars contributing to the sustainability of democracy in Nigeria. To consolidate on this vision, the Inter-Party Advisory Council is taking a bold step to deepen democracy by ensuring an environment that is conducive for successful elections, political stability, and peaceful electoral process in Nigeria. Hence, stakeholders were brought together to discuss the role of the judiciary in Nigeria's democratic sustainability. And this will be the focus of the program. Welcome to Nigeria Today on NTN News 24. I am Minna Daniels. Joining us in the studio to have this discussion is Yusuf Maman Dantale, National Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, and National Chairman, Allied People's Movement. Glad to have you join us on the program, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Did I get that name?
You got it correctly.
And also in the studio is Ahmed Abubakar Tanimo, a legal practitioner and public affairs analyst. Thank you, sir, for coming.
Thank you for having me. Always a delight being here.
Okay, let's begin with background. What is the role of the judiciary in promoting Nigeria's democracy? Let me start with the lawyer.
Well, as we all know, it judicial arm of the government is the third. We have three tiers of government. We have the legislatures, they make law. We have the executive, they implement law. Then we have the judiciary. We interpret law. There's a school of thought that a law that has not been interpreted, it has not been given effect. So you will not know the efficacy of the law that has been made by the legislature. So basically, the role of the judiciary is to interpret those laws that have been made, those laws that we inherited, those laws as enshrined in the Constitution. With the operation of law, you have various laws. Some are intertwined, some are interconnected. Some are made specifically to achieve a particular purpose, and the best persons to interpret and to give effect to such laws are the members of the judiciary, which encompasses lawyers that have been called to the Nigerian bar, but now they've been elevated. We are at the bar, they are at the bench. So basically, judiciary is just to interpret law and give effect to law.
Okay, let's come to you, Yusuf. How crucial do you think judiciary's intervention to Nigeria's democracy is at this moment?
Good evening. First, I will start by telling you what the core objective of the Inter-Party Advisory Council is. Our primary objective or goal is to see that whatever impedes smooth running of democracy as government that is responsive are responsible is within our purview to ensure that we remove that impediment to have the smooth operations of democratic system. And for you to do that, you need a very peaceful environment, okay, for all actors to coexist, to express, and then seek for elective offices, okay, atmosphere of harmony. Here, we have the judiciary as the third arm of government that's supposed to operate independently of the two others, even though the law, the separation, checks and balances among the three arms of government. The judiciary is supposed to be the purest arm as the interpreter of the law, because whatever we do, both at the legislative arm and the executive arm, we are expected to operate within the laws provided by the Constitution. So, as the custodian of the laws of the society, they are expected to be above board. As a politicians, we want to have our ways all the time. The executive arm, the legislative arm are politicians, but the judiciaries are not expected to be partisan. They are expected to be neutral, so that wherever and whenever the executive and the legislator are going outside the confines of that constitution, it is the responsibility of the judiciary to say, no, this is what the law says. We should do this and do that. For us to have politics, you and I know that it is conflict and conflict resolution, in the words of a scholar. While you are trying to solve one problem, it will breed another problem. So, and there must be someone to say, no, this is what you have to do within the laws provided by the society. Recently, we all witnessed what happened in Nigeria, the protest. Even though it is within the right of our Nigerians to protest, but we were not happy with what happened because of destruction of lives and properties. Innocent children died. Law enforcement agents were affected. Properties, businesses were affected. Up to now, we are still grappling with the reality of what happened. You understand? So what it means is the basics of humanity, we couldn't go about having that because there was no peace. There's a musician, Peter Toshu, said, everyone is crying out for peace, but no one is crying out for justice. So what we want to do is to see that judiciary, you are supposed, as a separate organ of the government, you are expected to be above board. We admit, as politicians, that so many things we do that we want to ensure that we have our interests met, but then the judiciary must be there to ensure that we don't cross that boundary that is set by the laws of the land.
Okay, let me still start with you, Yusuf. I know that IPAC has been meeting with stakeholders. First of all, what necessitated the meeting with stakeholders, one? And secondly, why did they choose the role of judiciary in Nigeria's democratic sustainability as a theme at this point in time?
Thank you. Is it the judicial arm of the government is not the only government that whose conduct today have some things that we need to address, but we need to start from somewhere. As in the Inter-Party Advisory Council, we are expected to identify internally, externally, what we think was the problem. But we believe that the first point is to start is the judiciary. You are from Rivers State. You see what happened in Rivers. It's uncalled for. It's unnecessary. We must not allow individual interests to override the interests of the people. Things must be done within the confines of constitutional provision. And in other places, you saw what happened. So, and that is why the judiciary must be above board to say, no, this is what should be done, what must be done. There were so many unrest in that state, and God forbid, what is happening there is enough to trigger so many things, so many unrest that will catalyze, across. But we don't need that. So before it gets to that point, we should begin to say, okay, fine. But that does not mean the judiciary have not done some things that are good. Recently, we had a landmark judgment about the financial autonomy of local government, and it is applauded across board. So, and so many other things that they have done. But still, some sanity need to be restored in the judicial arm of government.
Okay, let me come to Ahmed. The role of the judiciary in a democratic setting cannot be overemphasized. Would you say that so far the judiciary has done well?
You see, one of the major challenges that the judiciary are having is that as the expectation is so enormous on them. I'm not a spokesman for the judiciary, and ordinarily they are not even expected to have spokesperson. Judges, you cannot have them here on your program, so nobody is speaking out for the judges. So we have taken it upon ourselves to really bring out what the challenges are. The challenges are enormous. If you've been to any court, so let me lay the template. As a Nigerian, you have a right to litigate on any issue. When I mean any issue, no matter how frivolous, you can go to court today and you have your claim that you want to declare me to be a woman, even though you know I'm a man. It's not for the registrar of the court to throw away your action. The judge must entertain you, must be given that fundamental right of being heard. So with that as a notion, you have all manner of cases, all manner of litigation that are being on a daily basis dumped on the judiciary. And the judges are humans. They are a product of the society. If you have a dysfunctional society, if you have a society that pay less attention to honesty, to integrity, and everybody's attention is focused on being rich, quick access to getting money and being rich, the person that is manning the judicial position, they are a direct product of the society where they are from. So you don't expect a dysfunctional society to now be producing angels. Yeah. It's the same school that we all attend to. It's the same challenges. If as a judge, you know, by the time you give unfavorable judgment, you'll be stagnated. You know that your means of livelihood, you can barely afford the basics. How much is their salary? How much? And you expect them to do all this. And you know they are human beings. They are not developed in the lab, or you expect them. You must have that attribute of being Nigerians. If you would realize the fact that there's no end to, or there's not a stopgap to the kind of actions that can be brought to court, and the judiciary, their hands are tied, in the sense that we don't expect them to always toe the road of judicial activism. They are not like Father Christmas. They are going about, oh, you have a problem, they want to solve. Until when you approach them, you convince them, you provide credible evidence. It's not about what you know, what you have witnessed. It's what you can prove. The recent electoral election petition that just passed, a lot of people will tell you, oh, there was mass rigging, oh, there was overvoting here. But at the time of trial, if you allege, you made so many spurious allegations, and you're unable to call just a single agent that witnessed that same malfeasance, that same malpractices. So now do you expect the judiciary or the judicial officer that you believe what you are saying and you cannot prove it in court? So the society should treat the judiciary fairly, knowing fully well that we are a product of the same society. We face, the judicial officer faces the same challenges. He doesn't know where his next meal is going to come from. What they are giving to him as sustenance is the same society that will say, as a high court judge, what do you have? You don't have a house, you don't have a car. So we have to look at that factor.
We'll have to continue with this conversation, but let's just pause here for a moment and hear the opinion of Nigerians as put together by Suleiman Abdul Wahab.
Basically, the judiciary ought to uphold democracy in terms of being fair and just in executing their activities.
The obligation upon them, the responsibility placed upon their shoulder is greater than the ordinary citizens, because first, they are expected to know the law. Secondly, once there's a breach, the society expects that the lawyer should be at the forefront of, advocating for democracy, ensuring that the rule of law prevails eventually.
When we talk about the judicial system, it's the backbone of democracy, because to protect the institutions and for an economy to be functional, there has to be a good and sound judicial system.
Okay, you've heard the opinion of those Nigerians on the street, so I would like to come back to you because you are the legal person right here. What do you think about what they just said? What's your assessment?
In fact, they just captured and summarized everything that I have in mind. Without a functional, optimal judicial system, all other phases of our human endeavor will be stagnated. We need to revamp the judiciary, we need to rejuvenate it, we need to allow it to have its independence. As it is, the way we have it as of today, as I told you earlier, we are a product of a society. So we need to now focus on having appointment based on merit. You don't need any influence. We don't want a situation where politicians will be influencing those that will be appointed into the judicial arm. We want it to be as open as possible, to be as transparent. Anybody, any lawyer, once you have the requisite qualification, there shouldn't be any, it should be about passion, about patriotism, about sacrifice, and not, we should not want to give it the political coloration and angle some alleges that we are witnessing.
Okay, Yusuf, I know with the information at your disposal, can you just share some of the instances where Nigeria's democracy was put to test and how the judiciary came to the rescue?
When we say judiciary must be sanitized, it doesn't mean there are no good things that they have done. They have done so many good things. I just mentioned the issue of the autonomy, the financial autonomy of local government, which is a very big plus, and that will help a long way in then ensuring that government at the grassroots, as closest to the people, will function better than it has been. And we believe that with the constitutional amendment that will put off the State Independent Electoral Commission, and then there will be election will be conducted, at least a basic standard of election qualification, we will have it better, and Nigeria will be better for it. And I believe that with the way the president is going, we will use his goodwill to ensure that the National Assembly will do what is right to ensure we have a better Nigeria. Even when the last, during the last dispensation, that there was the introduction of new Naira notes, and Nigerians were almost going off, and people were trying to suffocate one another as Nigerians. The judiciary came to the rescue of Nigeria and ensured that no, this should be done, at least to have relief. They have done some good things. But I was going to ask my friend Tenimu when he said, are you agreeing to what this person say? From what you said judiciary, they are part of Nigerians. Sure. And what you mean is that Nigeria is corrupt. It's a corrupt society. No, you are not trying to use, you are trying to be, excuse me, my brother, you are trying to be euphemistic with words. Sure. Okay? But bluntly, what you say is Nigeria is a corrupt society, and you don't expect a sane judiciary from a corrupt society. That's what you just said.
Okay, let me recap it more clearly. Yeah. You see, because we are products of a society, things are not going well in the society. So you don't expect us to be disconnected. When I mean disconnected, you don't expect a judicial officer that has his children to cater for, that has his family, that has his responsibility. They will now have this new crave of being wealthy. Everybody wants to be wealthy. They don't want to care to know what is his minimum salary. So he is coming from a society. He is in the product of a society. He lives in that society. So the burden is so enormous. And you cannot, in every sphere in the Nigerian context, both in the religious sphere, both in the family circle, but in every circle, there are one or two bad eggs. So in the judicial angle too, you just have to, we believe there are people that are not representing judiciary in the best form.
Okay, I want to let him conclude his points, then you will make your point.
So in addition to what he has said, we have seen that over time, everybody allowed, expect the judiciary to perform magic. But as I said, the judiciary can only do so much based on what has been presented to it. So I'm calling on all Nigerians. We have a responsibility to litigate. If you see something that is not right, something that is not, the door for litigation is open to all Nigeria, irrespective of class, irrespective of position. Yes. Anybody can litigate, and the judiciary just try to get your facts right. The laws are there, and the judiciary will interpret.
You need to educate us now.
What I'm trying to say is that what you are saying is that there shouldn't be exceptions to rules. For instance, I will still make my...
Okay, we'll have a few minutes to go. So before that, let's find out the relationship between democracy and the judiciary. In your own thinking, what do you think the relationship is between the judiciary and democracy, right now?
Democracy is a government that is supposed to be established by the people freely on their own volition. No imposition. You don't strangulate the people's will.
And the judiciary will not do that.
No, excuse me. We are not saying...
Okay, I'm in charge here, so go ahead.
You understand? What we are saying is there are cases, not in all situations, that the people's will are being strangulated by the activities of some judicial officers.
Some, noted.
Not all.
Okay.
Of some judicial officers. And it's a dent on the image of that institution.
Okay, look, going forward, because of time, what is your advice? How do we fix all of this? Because I have like less than a minute.
Okay, what I was saying, when you say the judiciary products of the society, we have the military, we have the police. There was protest in Nigeria recently. Why didn't they join? Because they are supposed to be above board, no matter what the sentiment is, no matter what they feel. They shouldn't attend the same schools. They shouldn't attend the same hospitals and the market. But they didn't. This is the same thing we are saying. That the judiciary, as the priest, the representatives of God, in quote, because they are acting, on behalf of God, before man, or between man and another man. Sure. So they should be seen. Why do we call them my Lord? No other person or institution is called my Lord.
Okay, do you think we can do without judiciary? Do you think democracy
can
do without judiciary?
No, we can't.
Okay, let me get to you finally. How do you think Nigeria can continue to deepen democracy?
Nigeria can continue to deepen democracy in the event where we not want everything to be interpreted by the judiciary. You see, we should give the judiciary the reverent position that they occupy. If politicians will agree to do things rightly and reduce the burden on the judiciary, it's not every action that should be litigated upon. As a lawyer, you see clients coming that they know that they are going to lose a case. They just want to waste the precious time of the judiciary. If the judiciary makes a pronouncement, it's an eye-opener. It's left for the politicians and the legislatures and other stakeholders to now implement. We saw what happened in the last election. Judiciary have given the interpretation of the law based on what the law provides. There are lacunas, there are loopholes here and there. It's left for the politicians now to amend those laws. And they are not doing it. They will wait till the end of the tenure and they'll try. So for my final one is that we should continue to encourage our judicial officers to do more. People should stop overburdening the judiciary. What we should be thinking is how to enhance productivity, efficiency of the judicial system that will impact on our democracy.
Your final word.
My final word is simple. You as a judge, as a politician, as a legislator, you cannot operate in atmosphere of rancor, of a crisis. What we are all Nigerians, we need Nigeria first. If there is crisis, crowd, the law of mental unity of crowd take possession. Nobody wants to know if you are a lawyer, if you are a judge, if you are a legislator or whoever. What is important is you are susceptible to attack. So we must do what is right within ourselves. Yes, but I'm not exempting the politicians.
Okay, thank you very much for your words. It's been quite a moment, but let me first thank my guests here. Yusuf Maman Dantale, National Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, and of course National Chairman, Allied People's Movement. Thank you so much for your input. And Mohammed Abubakar Tanimo, legal practitioner, we've enjoyed your input. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and our viewer out there, thank you so much for always being part of Nigeria Today. Remember, the program is weekdays, 7:30 p.m. on NT News 24. You can also watch a repeat at 10 o'clock in the night, as well as other episodes on www.youtube.com/news24hub. I am Minat Daniels. Thanks for your time. Let's do this again tomorrow. Bye for now.